So let's flash forward through the meetings module here. And it's flash forward, so I'm going to move very fast. I think the videos in this module move fairly briskly as well. They cover all the details, but if you're, if I'm a little too fast here, you can check those out. So let's create a new meeting. This meeting will be a particular type here. We'll have this, say it's just a call here. And this is a call that happens to be with Joe Smith, we'll say. And it's scheduled for, well, we'll just put it on today. Oh, sorry, I clicked off today there. Let's say it's happening at 4 p.m. And just for the sake of showing how this works, I'll add an end time. And you can't, my screen is so zoomed in you can't see it, but it said 5 p.m. down there. And so you can see now this meeting says all the information about it up there in the node just by adding it down here. And then when I have the meeting, I'm taking some stuff, and then I have this important note about something. And so I tag it meeting note. And when I do so, it automatically notes in there that it's from this particular meeting. And let's just say it also happens to be about me building a fence around the play structure. If I add that project there, it'll include it here. And also, because of the way projects are built, it will show up when we get in here to the project dashboard. Let me open it up here for you. You can see that the note about that we just took, the important about. Fun how I wrote the half of what I was trying to say there. But we're flashing forward, so weird things happen sometimes. So important note about is what I meant to say. So that it shows up here, shows up in the project, and it also, so when you return to this meeting to see the notes you took, you don't have to go visually scan. It also shows up in this little keynotes area up here. So that's all done. And then we're going through here and we say, oh, you know what? I also have an action item, put the horse in the pasture. And that's an action item, and it's associated with this meeting, but it's also just a regular task. So I can assign it to, whatever bin I want to assign it to. I can schedule it for whatever date, so it'll show up in queries, add the, just schedule it for today by clicking that button. So it's going to show up in all my task queries, but it's also going to note that it is from this particular meeting. So that's there as part of it being an action item. And just like the keynotes, you don't have to scan the meeting visually. Those will arrive up here in an easy query. So any meeting that you're working with here, you can take notes like this. And if you happen to have a regular, weekly call with Joe Smith, we could go ahead and create our own super tag for our call with Joe Smith. Let's say weekly Joe Smith call. And then all we have to do is configure this so that it extends the meeting super tag, and now and then set our default parameters here. It's always going to have Joe Smith. It's always going to be of type call. I won't set the time because that might happen. That may be a certain different time, or it may be the same. So we could preset it if we wanted, but we also then have to go in here to our meeting super tag and make sure we grab the build title from fields from here. That doesn't inherit, and we'll set it up that way. And that way it will always show us automatically that what we preset as defaults. Now this was a relatively minor thing that I added here, but if that call with Joe Smith always had the same agenda or always discussed the same this or that or the other, all of that could be added directly to the template here, template stuff agenda blah 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 blah. All of that will automatically carry along every time that you schedule a weekly Joe Smith call. So you can use this meeting super tag not just to take one-time ad hoc meetings, but you can extend it. And by extending it, turn it into regular recurring meetings that you can set defaults for, add template items to. It really makes it really quite powerful. So enjoy as you're working through and learning how this works. And you'll get a good tool for being able to take notes and action items during meetings.